Welcome back to Canadian Justice, where we're discussing a new lawsuit against the University of British Columbia, alleging that the institution is failing in its duty of neutrality by taking political positions that undermine academic freedom. So, Josh, the University of British Columbia is governed by a piece of legislation called the Universities Act. And part of that statute requires a university to be, quote, non political. Can you explain what that means, what the statutory duty is?
Yeah, so the University of British Columbia, like all the universities in BC, has this requirement in the act. It says they need to be non-sectarian and non-political in principle. And University of British Columbia was actually one of the first public universities. It was created to be a university for all British Columbians. And this was in contrast to what came before, which is where you had these sort of sectarian universities associated with various religious groups, for example. To be a university for all British Columbians, you really have to stay out of politics. And we're not saying that individual professors or students can't have political opinions. It's quite the opposite. We're saying that in order for professors and students to be able to have a wide-ranging opinions and to follow that in their academic inquiries, the administration really just needs to stay out of these things.
Now, the issue that you outline in the lawsuit is that the university itself has taken a number of positions that you call political. And I want to go through them. I think we can probably start with what, in my view, is the most obvious. The university has made statements on the Israel Hamas war. So, Professor Treschow, can you tell me what statements university has made about that topic and how you view that as taking a political position as an institution and how that might undermine academic freedom?
Sure. So some of the sort of constituent units within the University of British Columbia and sort in the name of the University of British Columbia have come out with statements. Faculties like my faculty, the Faculty of Creative and Critical Studies, a department, an institute, but most alarmingly, I think, is the UBC Okanagan Senate, which represents the faculty in its pursuit of its academic mission. And it had a statement come out last spring that condemned Israel. The original motion was simply to condemn Israel for its genocide. There was a motion on the floor to include a condemnation of Hamas for its violence. Uh, Either way, it is a political statement that weighs in on debatable matters, especially when Israel is being accused of genocide um, and I should say, violation of international laws. That these are debatable matters, and the Senate is in effect taking a position on behalf of all the members of the faculty of UBC Okanagan.
Yeah, and presumably, if you are a person at UBC who studies, for example, the laws of armed conflict, this might create a chilling effect, I would think, about taking a position on this very issue, a highly fraught political one that might be run counter to the official institutional statement made by the Senate there. Josh, anything you want to add there?
Yeah, so I just want to add what we're talking about when we talk about what's political and what isn't political. Political means something more than just nonpartisan. It means when we're talking about, how we govern ourselves as a polity. Something that in the case law, the Human Rights Tribunal, for example, in BC, had said political is about social cooperation, and so I can't imagine an example that would be better than for of a political issue than what whether or not to say Israel is committing genocide. That's exactly the type of thing where people are trying to sort that out and decide as a government what the position on that should be.
Yeah, and Josh, I think that there is actually some case law from BC about what exactly it means to be political. Anything you can really briefly add there?
Yeah, so it really comes down to this question of social cooperation. People often think, oh, well, non-political, that just means you don't side with the NDP or you don't side with the conservatives. But it means more than that. It means about when we're trying to figure out the right answer as a group on the political issues. Whether the law should be changed, whether the law should stay the same, things like that.
Yeah, so there is case law about what this term actually means in the context of BC, which is really interesting. We've got to go to commercial break now, but we'll talk about some of the other claims in this lawsuit when we come back.